War Powers resolution. It calls for U.S. forces to be removed from conflict by that deadline. If Congress has not authorized the war, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has argued the ceasefire paused to that deadline. The 76-day funding shutdown for the Department of Homeland Security has ended, at least partially. Democrats, Republicans, and the White House all bent to allow funding approved more than a month ago to get the legislation to the president. CBS News' Nicole Killian.
As long as this shutdown lasted, it ended in the blink of an eye. There wasn't even a recorded vote in the House. This passed by a voice vote, which means all lawmakers have to do is say aye, which they did.
Still undone what changes, if any, might be made to ICE enforcement and Border Patrol contentious since the beginning of the year. A major grocery chain with a strong presence in Wisconsin settling a federal pollution case.
The U.S. Justice Department says Kroger has agreed to reduce emissions that contribute to smog. Kroger owns over 100 Pick and Save and Metro Market locations across Wisconsin. The settlement focuses on cutting leaks from refrigeration systems used in grocery stores nationwide. Federal officials say the changes are expected to improve air quality and reduce harmful emissions tied to ozone pollution. The agreement is part of a broader push to limit environmental impacts from large retailers. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin putting more than $9 million toward improving early reading skills.
The Department of Public Instruction is placing literacy coaches in more than 50 schools statewide as part of Act 20, the state's new literacy law. The coaches will work alongside teachers to strengthen reading instruction and help students reach grade level standards by the end of third grade. Milwaukee is a major focus, with 15 schools selected, including several within Milwaukee Public Schools. State data shows nearly 37% of students in early grades are below expected reading levels, highlighting the need for additional support. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. In the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, the Dow is up 106 points, NASDAQ up 203, S&P 500 up 38. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Kitchen remodeling projects consistently rank as one of the most valuable improvement projects in your home. I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets, here to tell you that we can transform your kitchen into your vision and save you money. Now is a great time to learn about refacing during our spring sales event. During this event at Redo Cabinets, get premium cabinet facings with plenty of options for color, hardware, style, and accessories. And get free premium countertops with every refacing project. Or payments as low as $195 a month. That's right, $195 a month. Call today and book a free, no-obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks officially have their new leader. Milwaukee hired former Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins as their head coach Thursday. Jenkins spent nearly 6 seasons in Memphis, leading the team to a 250-214 record, 3 playoff appearances. He was fired late in the 24-25 season with the team in a playoff position. The Brewers secured a series win. Milwaukee crushed the Arizona Diamondbacks 13-1 in the final game of its homestand. Brewers hit the road tonight to take on the Washington Nationals. Take a look at the the roads now with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We have a crash. It is off on the left shoulder, I-41 south, about a half mile beyond the ramp from Hampton Avenue. We had a disabled vehicle blocking the left lane, but it has been cleared. I-43 north at the 94 north interchange. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Partly cloudy, cool, spotty showers possible. High 47. Those showers should end tonight. We could see frost overnight. Lows 35 lakeside, 29 inland. Sunny tomorrow. Highs 50 to 58. Chance of rain again on Sunday. Mostly cloudy with a high 62. Monday, partly cloudy with a chance of afternoon and evening showers, maybe storms. High Monday, 70. And a slight chance of showers Tuesday. Partly sunny with a high 56. 43 in Madison, 41 in Green Bay, 42 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
It's Friday, which means it's time for the Political Power Hour on Point Taken, where the left and right go head-to-head on this week's top stories and issues. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bry.
Kristen is off, as I've said all week. She'll be back on Monday. She's excited. She said she missed me, so I'll take her on her word. It really should be the Political Power Hour 90 minutes, not an hour, right?
Political Power hour and a half.
KB would have enjoyed the pregame discussion we had.
Oh, it was hot. It was hot. Joseph Pecky, Democratic strategist. Bill McCoshen on the right side of the aisle, conservative with credentials. Both of these gentlemen are here because they're smart and they can communicate their thoughts on where we're at on the subject of politics. We were talking before. There's like a lot of things we could discuss, and we'll try to get to a lot of them.
We could do Political Power 3 hours today.
Easy.
So if the midday show's okay, we could probably just take some of their time. All right, so we'll just reference back because this story leads to a lot of other things. The White House Correspondents Association, they had their dinner, which was quickly broken up by a shooter. Individual comes in. I don't know that he didn't injure anyone because the officer smartly had his vest on, but that ended that debate. Initial reaction to what is almost an everyday intrusion of mass violence, gun violence into everything. Now a White House Correspondents' Dinner is subject to the same rules of the road when it comes to that.
These are scary moments. When I first got word that something had happened, I do the thing I don't really do anymore, which is I went and turned on cable news. I almost religiously do not watch cable news anymore. And as I'm doing it, you just kind of can't help but wonder, like, there was a heinous 8 kids were killed in Shreveport, Louisiana, like a few days before, and it doesn't get a fraction of the coverage. And so I do think that there's something a little bit broken about the way that we cover violence in this country. And thankfully, the security design worked. And I just want people to understand, like, it's not just that this intended gunman didn't get a shot off at anyone who, in that ballroom. It's not just that he didn't get in the room. He was on an entirely different floor.
Right.
And the Secret Service has a mission that has been described in the past as zero fail. You either stop would-be assassins or you do not. In this case, they did. Obviously, the mags were breached for those of us who have been at lots of these VIP type events with protectees. You know how serious those folks are. And I'm sure that they're reviewing policies and procedures to ensure that nobody ever even gets that close again. But this was not what I would say is a close call. And so for that, I give thanks and gratitude to everybody in law enforcement and the Secret Service. They do a good job, and it's a really, really tough job because the bad guys, the crazy lunatics like this knucklehead, they only have to be right once. And that's a tough job. What do you think, Bill? I mean, this, again, another intrusion into things that have just kind of gone on over time. We have these dinners. Presidents come. This president, I think it's the first time he came as president. He's been there before as a guest.
Yeah.
Your reaction?
It's concerning, right? That the volume and the temperature in the country can't seem to come down, and both sides have their hands on the dials, and they could help with that. And for whatever reason, we choose not to. But the most concerning thing to me, there's a couple points I want to raise, was the Secret Service agent who was shot. We still do not know if it was actually the gunman that shot him or one of his partners from the Secret Service. And we're going to know that maybe as soon as today. And that is really disturbing to me that Secret Service agents not only drew but shot, and all missed him, but may have shot one of their own guys. That is deeply disturbing. The thing that I found really impressive about it was kind of like DC prom afterwards in the White House press room. Everybody's in ball gowns and black tie, and so was the president, and a good share of his cabinet was standing right next to him.
A lot of smirking going on.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
It was.
Awkward.
I thought for Trump, the tone was perfect. He handled that night really, really well, and it was an opportunity to sort of change the landscape a little bit politically, in my opinion. There was one poll shortly thereafter, the Harris X poll, that had the generic ballot at 50-50. I'll admit that could be an outlier, but they're generally a pretty good pollster. But I thought Trump did a really good job that night. And my say something nice will be about a commentator who I also was impressed with on the Democratic side that night.
When I saw the presser that they did, I just said it. I didn't like the sort of the smiling that was happening away from the president. I think he started well, but he turned into a ballroom conversation. This event's never going to be held in a White House ballroom, I don't think.
Correct.
Because it's a press association. They're not going to hold events in the very place where government does their work, I don't think.
Oh, I think they will, because it'll be the most secure building in D.C.
But it's also a fraction of the size.
This is the
Yeah,
first
they
one
can't handle
where
the
the press
size.
was actually involved in it, right? When he was the attempt in Butler, there were some press traveling with him, of course, a pool. The golf course, there were none, right? So it was just kind of him. This was the first time the press sort of lived through this.
I've been in the building where this shooting happened. U.S. Conference of Mayors, we had many. I saw presidents speak there. I saw vice presidents, CEOs. It's at that spot because it can handle massive attendance.
Yeah.
The ballroom, correct me if I'm wrong, is not going to be anywhere near that big.
It would be a third of the size.
So, I'm going to ask you, Bill. What offended me is let's not take this and make it into a PR campaign for the ballroom. Well, my opinion.
In Rahm Emanuel's words, never let a crisis go to waste.
I reminded you of that this week. You're welcome.
You did. Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. Lots to talk about.
But the obsession with the ballroom is absurd.
It is a little
And
odd.
the history on it, going back to when Obama was president and Trump called Axelrod and said he wanted to do the ballroom, this is like Trump doesn't want anything in life as much as he wants a new ballroom.
Well, he's redesigned the White House. I mean, that property. I mean, now there's a black granite walkway outside. You see that?
Saw that yesterday.
Paved over
Peter
Jackie
Ducey
Onassis's rose garden.
Yeah, I mean, it's transformational. I would argue he's finally, this is my opinion, he's understanding he's not going to run again, but he's going to put his stamp on everything that remains on that property for time immemorial if they let him. That's my take. Quick break. Bill, Joe, point taken.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 12th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the San Diego Padres.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 12th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee or check your local listings to watch the game.
Hey, it's Salute to Service month now. May is here. Yes, I need your nominations. Text the word SALUTE, S-A-L-U-T-E, to 855-616-1620. First responders, you define it. You tell me their story. You tell me their name. You tell me where they work, how they impacted your life, how they saved your life, changed your life. 855-616-1620. Send a nomination in, and then we'll do the rest. We'll pick the winners for Heroes Week. Thanks to Waterstone Bank and all our great partners for making this possible. It's one of the favorite times of the year for us on this show. We're actually up for a WBA award this weekend for one of last year's honorees, so I'll tell you about that on Monday. But I need your help. The nomination period ends May 8th. Get those in, 855-616-1620, or go to WTMJ.com, click on the Salute to Service banner. It'll take you to the nomination page. Get them in quickly.
Can it get any easier? I don't think so. James, you can get an online order done at martyspizza.net in 30 seconds.
And we've made it easy to order all the favorites that a lot of Marty's Pizza lovers gotta have.
Our classic sausage and pepperoni pizza or lasagna and masticholi entrees. They're all delicious. Marty's Pizza in Delafield and martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Blaine's Fest with 3 days of giveaways, daily events, and doorbuster deals May 1st through the 3rd. Join us for a weekend of deep Blaine's Fest discounts like 141-ounce jugs of Era laundry detergent, just $7.99. 60% off select DeWalt 20-volt battery combo packs, $79. Plus, enter for your chance to win over $100,000 in prizes and giveaways. Shop, save, and celebrate during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Blaine's Fest, May 1st through the 3rd.
Little Thin Lizzy on a Friday. Rest in peace, Phil Lynott, lead singer. Died a long time ago. Great song.
Dropping knowledge over there.
Oh, yeah. I'm just a radio DJ. You know?
Showing off his own radio or Jeopardy chops.
Bill McCosh and Joseph Pecky. A real king came to Washington, D.C. this week, right?
He did.
What do you think? What's your thoughts about that
So
visit?
I'm not a big monarch guy, but
And I am a no kings guy. Let's just be really
Right.
clear.
Yeah, no surprise there.
but it was pretty cool. And my youngest son got a chance to be on the South Lawn. It's the first king to visit the United States since King George in 1939. So it's been 87 years.
Well,
Just
we
said
also
I
had
was
a queen
dropping
for like
knowledge.
75 of those
Yeah,
years.
yeah, we
that
did.
sort of made that the reality.
We did, but it was a cool thing in that respect. And, you know, it appeared that there is a genuine warm relationship between the king and queen and the president and the first lady. And to the point where they came back and actually bartered with them on some tariffs on whiskey, and they got those removed. So I thought it was cool. I thought the king's speech to Congress was pretty good.
All right, so he mentioned the Magna Carta in his speech, and you know that separation of powers argument that we sort of brush off now. What'd you think about that? Very specific. Was it a directive to Congress to wake the hell up, or what was he doing there?
Well, it's interesting because Joe and KB and I had an offline communication about this. Who all was at the state dinner? All three branches were at the state dinner. The president and his cabinet were there. Mike Johnson and Majority Leader Thune were there. I think there were Democratic senators there as well, but there were also 6 members of the Supreme Court who were there, which I thought was not the right optic. Truthfully, maybe the John Roberts should have been there. I don't know, for a state dinner, but I don't think that's the right look.
Everybody wants to meet royals. I
would think.
I don't care who you are, huh?
I don't get it. I don't get the obsession with the monarchy. Right? Like I don't get it.
You know, it's my homeland, right?
I do.
Yeah,
but
Mine too.
I thought you were American.
I am American first.
Oh,
but I was born in England.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you have a little allegiance to the king.
Some people say I have royal blood in me.
Oh, we got to get him a crown for next week.
Mark the tape on that one. That's a good promo.
Listen, state visits are also a big deal. I would like to think that Trump was listening when King Charles was talking about the importance of NATO.
He was pretty strong on those words.
Yeah,
when,
he was.
When the king was talking about, the role of America on the world stage in terms of the example we set and what American democracy has meant to the world. But the policy choices of this administration continue to suggest otherwise, right? And so I thought the king was subtle in some of his digs. You had to really kind of read between the lines, right? That, when Trump says, if it weren't for us, you Brits would be speaking German. And the king responds with, well, if it wasn't for us, you might all be speaking French. You got to kind of know your world history there to get the subtleties and the digs.
Yeah.
But
it was an educated speech.
Yeah,
it totally was.
It was.
A lot of history, but also a recognition of what's happening in the world that these two countries, two vital players, are involved in.
It might be a lesson, too, because he was able to make his points at 40,000 feet, right? He never personalized it.
Correct.
He never mentioned Trump by name. All of his digs, if they were digs, were subtle, and you had to think about them.
So statecraft can be practiced in ways other than like a sledgehammer, like your guy does?
It can, and
How
no
about
social
that?
media needed.
How about that?
No social media needed.
Explain it since we're talking about kings. So the president apparently on CBS, I think it was Norah O'Donnell, said he's not a king.
Yep.
Okay. And the White House this week said there was two kings in together. So what's the disconnect?
They're
there?
trolling. So
well, I know the
right,
answer.
like it's you call your wife your queen sometimes, and right, like I get the like pop culture reference of referring to someone as a king, but they're just trolling, and I don't think that's becoming of the office of the presidency.
I don't either.
But in terms of the troll-o-meter from this White House, pretty low.
Pretty low on the scale.
Yeah, like I'm still a little bit more concerned about online threats to end a civilization tonight than I am about a picture of Trump and Charles and calling it two kings. Who cares?
We're going to get to all of that stuff after the break. Did you hear the shutdown ended?
Hard to believe.
What in the? All right, quick break. Point taken.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Trees on the Move and Abby Home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Squiddy with Milwaukee weight loss. Yes, lost 45 pounds last year. Actually, it was 9 yesterday, so 9 more. So what is that? Do the math. Anyway, it's a secret to losing 1 pound of fat every day, and it worked for me, and it could work for you. If I could do it, you can do it. It's willpower, but it's more than that. It's coaching. It's a great doctor-developed natural plan. Not meds, not shots, not the gimmicky stuff, meals, bar shakes, prepackaged meals, all of that stuff. It resets your metabolism. So you start over, essentially. This is how I'm going to approach food. This is how I'm going to approach my life. This is how I'm going to live my life. And I'm going to live it lighter. And you can lose up to 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. That's what I did. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation. It starts with a conversation. Everything does, right? Communication. Lose up to 1 pound per day. Book your free consultation today at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
MW Marine. Fishing season kicks off this weekend. Are you ready to hit the water? Stop into MW Marine and check out the brand new 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Start your boat shopping now and lock in a great deal so you're ready when summer hits. MW Marine takes trades, offers full boat service, plus outdoor storage to keep your rig in top shape. Call now to schedule a private appointment or stop in today. MW Marine.
This is like a real music station now.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know.
I don't recognize
I
that.
have no idea what this is.
It's Lord singing "We Will Never Be Royal" because we were just talking about.
Oh, thank you, Joseph.
Dang.
I got you, Jazz. So Jazz she's flying a plane way above our heads.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And just call me the explainer in chief.
Wow, Joseph
Wow.
Pecky. All right, so
Kid's bringing the heat today.
now I feel dumb.
The old guys are taking it high and
calling me a
tight.
kid.
The old guys are taking it high and tight.
Whatever happened today is when producers give their hosts a heads up. Hey, this is coming next. Didn't get any of that, so I looked dumb.
You were spelling something for her.
I was. I didn't. Did I finish spelling?
And also
No,
not
not the
using the
last name.
talkback button, so I could not hear you.
Team effort over here.
All right. Anyway, so the shutdown's over.
What shut down?
Who
What was
won?
shut down?
Government. Who won?
Oh, weird.
Who won? Bill.
Weird. It's so weird that for weeks and weeks and weeks, Democrats said, we will fund the Coast Guard and the Secret Service and everything but ICE until you make these reforms. And multiple times the Senate sent it over and the House wouldn't do it. And then in the end, what did we get? We got an end to the shutdown that funds everything except for ICE, exactly what Democrats have been saying they would do throughout the 76 days, I think was the...
78, I think.
Okay, right? Like, so there's no winners when government doesn't work, but Democrats held the line. So for all you Democrats out there who say the Democratic Party doesn't have a backbone and doesn't do anything, they stuck to what they wanted, and that was the deal that just ended up getting done. Now, I turn to my friend Bill and I go, what changed on the Republican side? What did Mike Johnson get for this?
That's the question.
How is he spinning it as a win?
Well, Democrats didn't win, and my friend Joe is half right about what Democrats wanted. They were willing at one point to fund everything except ICE, and then they wanted all these reforms, none of which are in the final package.
Which is why the ICE funding isn't in the final package.
Right.
Well, ICE is going to pass separately under reconciliation, which only requires 51 votes. So Republicans, I think, are going to do that next week.
But couldn't they have done that like earlier?
Yeah, they could have done it 70 days ago.
And sadly, that's the state of government we're in right now, where they can't even do the most basic things.
Right.
I mean, shutting down government to get your way is not the right way to run a government. That's for
government
sure.
by
Doesn't
temper
matter.
tantrum.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's in charge. If it's Republicans or Democrats, it's not the way to run the railroad. But I think the precedent is now set or reconfirmed, and it will continue for some time.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The president said many times in the past few months, how many days was it, 79?
78 or 9.
Okay. He wouldn't sign a bill unless the ICE funding was in there. He signed the bill. It's the shutdown's over. What?
He blinked.
He blinked, right?
And if this is what Republicans choose to do, it means one less reconciliation package available for more tax giveaways to billionaires. And I think that, too, is a win.
That's a talking point. I hate when you say
Wait, that's what they did with the last one. Do you need me to remind you about the $7.8 billion tax break that Jeff Bezos and Amazon got?
I believe
despite the
everyone
fact their
should pay
profits went up?
their fair share in taxes, including billionaires. But when you say stuff like that, it's just you throw these out as talking points. Billionaires,
It's a true thing that happened.
They pay taxes.
Did your taxes go down on your return this year?
I'd have to go look.
I didn't. Mine didn't. I made more money, but
I don't think mine did either. I always seem to be. I'm in the gray area all the time.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. You know,
I'm not either.
I got a nice refund, but what $7.8 billion is the tax break that Jeff Bezos got. It's just a fact. It's not a talking point.
I'm not arguing with
Was your
what
refund
you're saying.
nicer than
just
the year
way
before?
you say it. It's
Yeah, but that's because I had a worse year in business.
Well, hey, that's honesty. That's honesty.
Yeah.
All right, we got the war in Iran, energy prices, gas prices. I mean, no one's holding up those. Well, Tom Tiffany's getting memed out of his mind because he did that one with what, 2-something? Now
$249.
Now it's 4 whatever.
$449 is what KB just paid.
Yeah, she just paid $449, but $429 is the state average.
We got Say Something Nice. We got Grab Bag. What else we got? Who's going to win the Democratic nomination for governor in the state of Wisconsin?
You want to stick around for that conversation.
That one's going to get fun.
That's must-hear radio, my friend. And you can actually watch on YouTube, too. So that might be one you log on, you watch what we're doing. ABC News is next.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Day 60 of the war in Iran. The Trump administration now saying it doesn't need congressional approval for more action in the region because of the ongoing ceasefire there. It comes as prices continue to rise. ABC's Jim Ryan says the war is affecting Americans' ability to afford the basics.
A new ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll shows Americans by and large agree with Brenda, who lives in Texas.
It's a struggle every day for everybody. Food is ridiculous. Gas. Utilities.
The survey of 2,560 adults finds that 23% are falling behind financially, up from 17% in February. Brenda says she's feeling it firsthand.
There's nothing left to even put into savings.
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
A person of interest is now in custody in Kentucky after a bank robbery yesterday left 2 employees dead. A manhunt was underway all through last night about 40 miles south of Lexington. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. Wisconsin's 2 U.S. senators putting forward new names for top federal prosecutor positions in the state. Senators are recommending Peter Smisek for U.S. Attorney in the Eastern District of Wisconsin and Chadwick L. Gersma for the Western District. Move would replace Brad Schimmel, who's currently overseeing the Eastern District as first assistant U.S. Attorney. It's now up to President Trump to formally nominate the candidate, so it's unclear when or if that'll happen. Traffic stop in Germantown led to 2 arrests and a close call for a police officer. According to the Germantown Police Department, a canine alerted to drugs during a stop Saturday near County Line Road and Falls Parkway. Police say officers found suspected cocaine and fentanyl. During the search, an officer was exposed to the substance and began feeling the effects. He was given Narcan, later released from the hospital. 2 suspects now face drug-related charges. Wisconsin's unemployment rate edged up slightly in March. State Department of Workforce Development says the rate rose to 3.5%, still below the national rate of 4.3%. There was a slight increase in the total number of jobs, with just over 3 million people working statewide. State officials say the data reflects a stable labor market despite minor month-to-month changes. Time now for news about your money with the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 66 points, 49,718. NASDAQ up 266 at 25,159. S&P 500 up 47 points, 7,256. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. There could be some lanes closed due to some debris in the roadway. This is going to be 94 West at Moreland Road South. I-41 South, about a half mile beyond the ramp from Hampton Avenue. Left shoulder blocked due to a crash there. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Partly cloudy and cool. Spotty showers possible. Those should end tonight. High today 47. We could get some frost overnight with lows 35 lakeside, 29 inland. Sunny tomorrow, highs 50 to 58. Chance of showers Sunday with a high 62. Partly cloudy Monday, a chance for afternoon or evening showers, even some storms possible. High Monday 70. Slight chance of rain Tuesday, high 56. 44 in Madison, 42 in Green Bay and in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
If you're going to put some of your hard-earned profits into advertising, you better do it right, because we know you don't want to waste a dime. If you want ad success, it's not just knowing what to say, it's knowing how to say it. Telling isn't selling, and a message that doesn't sell will waste your money. With thousands of ads of experience, we know what to say and how to say it to get you better results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com's Our Work page to listen and see why we're the guys smart advertisers call to make their ad dollars work harder. We found that whatever kind of ad you decide to run, if it doesn't sell, it's a bad ad. One thing we're pretty good at is digging deep to find what truly sets our clients apart from their competition. And we're always surprised at what we find and have often asked, well, why haven't you been telling the public that? There are things about your business that you aren't telling enough people, and certainly not often enough. We'll fix that. Go to Anderson-Smith.com and hit the Contact Us button, because we help small business advertisers get better results.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
The war in Congress has ended. The shutdown is over, but the war in Iran has not ended. What are we, 60-plus days?
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, I suppose. Because according to the president, the war has been over for a long time. And J.D. Vance.
Well, the bombing ended on April 8th,
Yeah.
right? So what has the last 3 weeks been?
Is a blockade not an act of war?
It's a
Because
is
right,
it
remember we
any
got 2
different
wars.
than any other penalties we put on countries, economic penalties?
Well,
The
we're also
blockade?
blockading Cuba. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You've had the Iranian
Those are
fast
sanctions.
boats.
I know what somebody wanted me to
have-
ask Bill. Do you think the Department of Defense, I'm not doing the stupid thing that Hegseth does, is hiding either the number of injuries and fatalities among U.S. members of the military? There's been conversation about this.
I haven't heard that. I can't imagine that they would. I don't see the
Basically,
upside.
the scenario is it's been worse than they've said.
I think you have to be transparent about that.
You should be.
I mean,
I don't think you can monkey around with this, and I don't think that they are. My understanding is that Secretary Hegseth acknowledged a 14th KIA while on the Hill this week. The number had been 13. Now it's 14 American troops who have been killed during this conflict, and we know that there are hundreds who have been injured. So I don't think that there's any funny business going on with those casualty counts. I just don't.
I don't either.
I do think it is worth noting that the true cost of this war and the damage done to U.S. installations in the Middle East was not clear at the onset and is now becoming clearer. There was some reporting this week by Reuters and others that the damage to those bases and installations is far more significant than originally let on. I am not here to say that's a conspiracy or a cover-up. There is, while the missiles are flying, you don't want to tell your enemy where you are vulnerable. I understand all of that. But when Secretary Hegseth goes to the Hill and finally acknowledges things like this has already cost $25 billion, my follow-up, if I was on that committee, would be, what are the costs going to be going forward to rebuild these installations and to replenish the munitions? The price tag on this thing is going to be a hell of a lot more than $25 billion.
Where does it stand today, do you think? There are some ships getting through the Strait of Hormuz, but it has been disruptive in major import-export. Obviously, oil, energy, fertilizer, all that stuff has been impacted by this. Where is it at, do you think, today?
I'm going to use Joe's famous line of two things can be true. I personally, and I think there are a lot of people out there who support the goal of a denuclearized Iran. I think that is better for the world for that to happen.
I think that's a bipartisan argument.
Having said that, this is also a train wreck politically for Republicans. And the longer it goes on, the worse it's going to be. The fact that gas now nationally is $4.29 a gallon, when, sadly, Tom Tiffany's got a meme out there where he was bragging about it in January of this year where it was $2.49. Okay, $4.29 to $2.49. That's a 72% increase in 4 months. That's what voters care about. And ultimately, voters vote their pocketbook first. I've said week after week, I'll say it again this week, this has to get over sooner. Time is not an ally of the administration from a political standpoint. Maybe from a world long view standpoint, you could play this out for 4 or 5 months. But if you do, Republicans are going to get wiped out in November.
Again, I'm a Republican, but it is encouraging that I don't have to listen or read any more stupid posts about gas prices from Republicans who now have to hide from that fact that it's $4+ a gallon. They just shut up about it.
Yeah.
But they might want to ask the question, okay, so how are we fixing this? It's $4.19 in Oak Creek and $4.49 other.
I was in Chicago this week. It was $5.40.
Do you think the blue team is making a mistake by not having those stickers ready to go for the gas pumps? With
You
Trump
did
that
this?
says, I did this?
Yeah.
Because Republicans already would have had them if Biden was still president.
Maybe. I would say there are times when saying nothing is the right strategy. And if you look at Democratic numbers in any national poll, they are lower than Republicans. In every single poll, it doesn't matter. If that number on the gas pump is still in the 4s in November, it's going to be a very blue year.
What's my old saying? You don't have to outrun the bear. You just got to outrun the other guy.
the slowest guy is running next to you. Okay, it's for the president, though. And I ask this in all sincerity. Do you think he gives a crap how much people pay for gas?
I think he believes it will come down quickly, and he may be right about that. But the question is, how long can they take it? Right? I mean,
gas is the one that gets everybody right.
The beatings will continue until the morale improves. I mean,
yeah.
The fact that he now has Republicans going out there and saying things like, I just had it. It was, I think, Rick Scott, senator from Florida, saying it's terrible that gas prices are so high, but it's a cost I'm willing to bear. Well, sir, you're a billionaire. You can afford it. If you're making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year,
72% increase. If you're a
feeling
small
that.
landscaping company that uses trucks and mowers and things like that, that's real. That's coming out of your bottom line.
I said this. I think I told this on the air the other day. I a volunteer director for a cemetery. For the first time ever, we paid a fuel surcharge for our landscape service to cut the grass. Yeah, first time ever because of these prices.
It's almost like someone was sitting here last week saying that the economic pain was just about to get even more pronounced. Who was that?
And the truth is, Iran may be facing more economic pain than we are, but U.S. voters don't care about that.
No,
right?
But we should care that Europe and Asia are facing even more pain than we are. When you have European airlines canceling thousands of flights because jet fuel prices have gone up even more than gasoline, there is a global economic impact that American voters may not understand or grasp, but it also is bad for the long-term health and stability of the world
But
economy.
maybe it doesn't matter if you just redraw the line so you can't lose an upcoming election.
Well,
we'll get to that after the break. Bill McCutcheon and Joseph Pecky, point taken.
You ever see the sign above the highway? The number of people that have been killed on the road? My wife, my son, and my unborn child were killed by a distracted driver. They were more than just a number.
Your phone isn't worth it. Buckle up, phone down. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavidi for Wisconsin and Badger Fence. Actually, if you're looking for any kind of a repair or upgrade, there's so many new styles and designs. Badger Fence is the company I went to 10 years ago almost. Whether it's a squeaky fence in the wind or just you need an upgrade, they've been doing this, get this, in the Milwaukee area since 1945. Their Better Business Bureau accredited A-plus rating, as good as it gets, and of course a longtime NARI Milwaukee member. Whether it's wood cedar, which is what we chose, still looks fantastic. My neighbor just commented on the other day. Ornamental chain link PVC vinyl, some really cool styles there. You can land on the right look for your home, but get this, and your budget. Badger Fence, licensed, bonded, insured. That matters, especially today. And they use quality materials. You want that fence to hold up season after season in a tough state like Wisconsin, weather-wise. Your new fence, if it's on the list this year, set up an appointment at badgerfence.com. Tell them Scafidi from WTMJ sent you.
From the leather aspect, leather has a lot of natural characteristic in it.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
And the leather suppliers, they disclaim, right? This leather is going to have bug bites. It's going to have maybe barbed wire marks, what have you.
Branding, there's brands and a lot of the leather that comes from certainly out west.
Right. Where they're still branding cattle.
Where they're still branding cattle will have branding marks in it.
But if you just sit and watch a cow, she scratches on everything. They do.
Walking over to a tree and going like this.
Just like they're 1,500 pounds. They're pushing on that tree or pushing on that fence. You wonder why they got marks on their body.
I love that in leather. When I see a leather sofa that has natural markings in it, I absolutely love that.
See more at pennymustard.com.
That leather lives on for a long, long time with a piece of furniture.
Right.
A long, long time.
Yep.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
Texter says, Steve, Bill, and Joe, thank you for a great conversation. We do it every Friday. Kristen will be here.
It's usually better because Kristen's here.
Looks better.
You actually...
KB's listening. She's driving off. She's like, God dang, that's sexist.
No comment. All right, it is better when she's here. And the show is more, somebody asked me this question the other day. It's more fun to do it when you have someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Not that I don't.
Thank goodness you got us to talk to.
Right.
Yeah, because I dig monologizing, if that's a word. I just love it. But some people as my wife sometimes says, I need less Steve right now. Honestly, God, the hand goes up.
You're up
here. I need you down here.
The Heisman.
I need a little less Steve. Not hashtag more Steve. I need less Steve.
Don't give my better half any ideas.
Yeah, a little bit less of that. All right. The Supreme Court weighed in 6-3, no surprise, conservatives versus liberals. Louisiana said, not going to happen. So this is a win for Republicans leading into the next big elections.
Well, it's probably 2 election cycles, but what they did was they reinterpreted Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act to say that you cannot discriminate based on race, which has been the practice for the last 60 years. And Rick Atzenberg was on your show, and I thought I explained it really well.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically said there can't be any discrimination as it relates to redistricting. What it means politically is potentially a pickup of at least 12 seats for Republicans. That does not include the 4 that Ron DeSantis is going to sign into law in Florida today. The 4 in Florida negate whatever gain might be made in Virginia. I still think the Virginia Supreme Court is going to throw that out. So it ends up being the potential over 2 cycles of a plus 16 for Republicans.
Just a specific point. Does it put too much stock in how people have voted in these areas before and not take into account how people are feeling about this state of the country now going into this election. So you can think that the lines are going to work for your side, but it may not play out that way.
It's 100% correct. And people have said that about Texas.
Yes.
The first one
and
to
maybe
do this.
Florida. This could be the difference between a gerrymander and a dummy-mander is more complex than we have time to get into. Yeah.
Right.
But
I
the bottom
agree with
line
that.
here is, as you said, I think it's in the text, there's no rules for this stuff anymore.
We're in full nuclear war between the parties, and I don't see it stopping. Many of these states are going to try and do this cycle, but some, like Georgia, the governor, Brian Kemp, said today, I can't get it done in time, so I'll do it for 28. So by 28, all of this will sort of be baked in the cake.
Among the things that really frustrate me about this is we go right to the battlefield and the battleground and what that means up and down for our politics of the moment. I think it is worth taking a step back. We are celebrating the 250th anniversary of this country this year. There is a strong case to be made that we did not, in fact, realize and become a true democracy until after the 1964 Civil Rights Act and 1965 Voting Rights Acts. That even the first Reconstruction after the Civil War did not get us there. It took franchising black and brown Americans. Those landmark pieces of legislation have now had stood for 60 years. And as recently as 20 years ago, 2006, they were reauthorized by Congress, right? It's not like this was 60 years ago and now it's just on the books. It was a thing that needed to be reauthorized. And conservative Republicans like Jim Sensenbrenner, far-right Republicans for the time, championed reauthorization of this. Got 393 votes in the House and 98-0 in the Senate. And 20 years later, because Republicans, or not even all Republicans, the people who wanted the Voting Rights Act gone, said, well, we can't do it legislatively. We can't do it by executive fiat. We can only do this through the courts. And so they came up with a strategy, and they poured millions of dollars into getting control of a court that would do what just happened, which is we have now arrived at a place where you can gerrymander based on partisanship, but you can't do it based on race. And I don't know, man. That just seems pretty screwed up.
On one of your points, though, something Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, said this week is deeply disturbing and I think dangerous, and that is he called the Supreme Court illegitimate. If you are listening to this program, there is no such thing as an illegitimate Supreme Court. Why? Because the one criteria it takes to be on that court is you must be confirmed by the United States Senate. All 9 members of that court have been confirmed by the United States Senate, therefore making them legitimate. The notion that they're illegitimate is ridiculous on its face.
I agree with that. And to the descending spiral of chaos that this is now going to lead to, this ain't just about drawing maps anymore. I guarantee you that the next time Democrats have the White House and control of both houses of Congress, they are going to enlarge the Supreme Court to match the number of district courts. There is going to be something, done around real ethics on the Supreme Court. There will probably be term limits for Supreme Court justices. This has guaranteed that major reforms are coming to the Supreme Court the next time Democrats control everything. I'm
going to take a break, and I'm going to stay on this, but in a different way. I want you guys to think about this during the break. Given you said it's a nuclear war, given there's no rules, given it's just going to blow up in the worst possible way, how can that not be the storyline, the narrative in the next 4 years? We'll discuss, see what they have to say about that. Bill and Joe on a Friday right here on Point Taken.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $14.98 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
I want you to imagine this scenario. Your home has to be evacuated in 5 minutes. You can only grab one item, something from your home that truly matters, imagining all the pets and the people get out. What would that be? Did your brain go to something right away? These are what we call passion assets.
And learn how to preserve those passion assets. Wednesday, May 6th at the Red Circle Inn in Neshota. Click events and reserve your spot at AnnexWealth.com.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this, and Summit Credit Union's got you.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Looking to plan that next trip in our great state? We have got you covered. Whether it's a family vacation, maybe a romantic getaway, how about a spa weekend for the ladies or a golf weekend for the guys? Check out Experience Wisconsin, 1 o'clock Saturdays on WTMJ. On this week's show, going to be a good one, the Wisconsin Historical Society, focusing on Old World Wisconsin, and the Northwoods, Rhinelander, Lauren Sackett, Rhinelander. It is Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Oh, again, we said it all every week. Just record that, put it on overtime, we're all done. We don't have to do anything else. All right, so I challenge you. Look, I don't like the fact that this redistricting, these ideas that we just blow all the rules up. We're abandoning what we at least thought was the right thing to do. We're just blowing it up. So I'm going to give you a minute each or so. All right, how do we not do that? How do we fix what I think is most people would say is not going to be a fair process going forward?
Time just has to take care of some of this. I think I talked about this last week, that for every action in American politics, there is a reaction. For every spasm and period of chaos like the mid to late 60s through Watergate, there is a response in the next generation when things were a little more calm, right? I think you would agree with it. Even, the Cold War era was a pretty rational time in our politics. Democrats controlled the House, Republicans controlled the presidency, and were winning overwhelmingly. So these things tend to bounce back and forth. I think the next time Democrats have full control, you will see massive government reforms, not just to the Supreme Court. I think we need to add, Senate seats. The U.S. territory should have.
You call it reforms. Republicans say that's just overreach from the other side.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm going to call them reforms, and Bill can call them what he wants. I think if you enlarge the House, you take away some of the incentive structures around the gerrymandering, and if you have a period of government reform following a period of distrust in government and wild swings in the electorate, because remember, this is the 21st century. We've talked about this in the past, has just swung back and forth. 11 of the 13 elections have been change elections. That at some point has to get to stability, and I think there will.
I don't know if it will.
I think it can.
All right, leave some time for Bill. Bill said,
I would say I'm opposed to all of the things that Joe said, because that's not who we are. That's what you do when you're losing. Your side's losing. If you can't convince voters of the...
You don't think we ever reform government? Come on.
I don't think we add 4 seats to the Supreme Court. I don't think we add members to the 435-member United States House of Representatives. I definitely don't think we add United States Senate seats. I'm opposed to all of that. I don't see any value in any of that. I think that changes who we are as a country, and I think that's what you do when your side can't convince the electorate that your side has better ideas for the country.
If your arguments are good, you win these elections, regardless of what the numbers are.
And that goes on both sides. right? We've introduced some dog candidates. Let's just take Wisconsin, for example. 5 of the last 6 elections have been decided within 40,000 votes. I think it's actually 35,000 votes. I think Tammy Baldwin was the only one that was above that. I mean, we are a 50-50 state, but the polarization is not going away anytime soon, which means that this gerrymandering is going to continue and at least for the foreseeable future.
When we took over Greenland and Canada under Trump, were they ever going to get Senate seats?
No.
But that's American. I just think that's ridiculous to say it's not American. We've enlarged the size of the Congress before. We've enlarged the Senate over time. America is not a fixed item. It is constantly evolving.
All right. Do we take them over and make them states, Canada and Greenland, or how's that work? Or like Britain?
I don't think we should. It's
like
Bill's guy who wants to do that.
Are we like Britain in the 19th century? We just claim territory across the world. What are we doing? All right. Who is going to win this Democratic nomination for governor? We're going to dissect all these candidates, 15 candidates, whatever they got. They got 7, I think. Joe Bill, news is next.
Market swings can feel very different when you're close to retirement. Hi, I'm Tony Drake, certified financial planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. When you're younger, volatility is often something you ride out over time. But as retirement approaches, big market drops can have a much bigger impact on your long-term plan. That's why many retirees need a different investment approach, one that balances growth with protection and provides income even when markets are unpredictable. At Drake & Associates, we help families design diversified strategies intended to help manage risk while still giving your money the opportunity to grow. My complimentary retirement toolkit walks through how thoughtful investment planning can help you stay confident during uncertain markets. You'll receive a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, along with 5 guides covering income planning, taxes, and smart investing. Call 414-897-9522 or text RISK to 414-897-9522 for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text the word RISK to 414-897-9522. Because the goal isn't just growing your money, it's protecting the retirement you've worked for.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
There's not a bad time to better insulate your home, but there is a better time, and it's right now. Vince Vitrano here just talked with Jeff from USA Insulation. Jeff says they always get busy in the fall and early winter as everyone's concerned about keeping their houses warm. But doing a project with USA Insulation does just as well to keep your house cooler in the summer months and saving you money on your electric bills. Tell Jeff Vinny told you want the government rebates and discounts that can save you thousands on your project. Get started at usainsulation.net.
MW Marine. Fishing season kicks off this weekend. Are you ready to hit the water? Stop into MW Marine and check out the brand new 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Start your boat shopping now and lock in a great deal so you're ready when summer hits. MW Marine takes trades, offers full boat service, plus outdoor storage to keep your rig in top shape. Call now to schedule a private appointment or stop in today. MW Marine.
The stage is set in the nation's capital, where history is written.
Throws to first, and he gets Ortiz, and the game is over.
And tonight, rewritten.
Back at the wall, jumping up, and it is gone. Drive right center. This could be number 2 of the day, and it is.
The Brewers head to D.C. to take on the Nationals. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:10. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11:01, we have 42 degrees, partly cloudy, cool today, spotty showers possible, high of 47. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Several people hurt after a fire at an apartment building on Milwaukee's north side, Fond du Lac and Bourbon Street. Officials say 5 residents jumped from second-floor balconies to escape and went to the hospital, and firefighters rescued 6 others. Crews say the building had working smoke detectors but no sprinkler system. Cause of that 3 a.m. fire remains under investigation. President Trump's arrived at the 60-day mark, the legal deadline for him to seek congressional approval to continue using the military in the conflict with Iran. ABC's Selena Wang says there appears to be differing opinions on when that mark actually hits, with the Trump administration arguing the April 7th ceasefire put the timeline on pause.
The reality here is that the U.S. is currently conducting that naval blockade, enforcing that naval blockade of Iranian ports, and under international law, a naval blockade is considered an act of war, and there are Democrats and even some Republicans who insist that the president does in fact need to seek congressional authorization for this, but there is no mechanism in Congress to compel and force the president to do so.
With the war prompting a spike in the cost of gasoline, food, and other essentials, a new ABC News Ipsos poll shows Americans are increasingly pessimistic about their own finances. About half expect gas prices to increase even more over the next year. This woman from Texas who supports the president and the war says she still struggles with some of the higher costs.
It's just, so hard to provide for my family.
About 4 in 10 Americans say they're not as well off as they were before President Trump took office for the second time. Major grocery chain with a strong presence in Wisconsin settling a federal pollution case. The U.S. Justice Department says Kroger's agreed to reduce emissions that contribute to smog. Kroger owns over 100 Pick and Save and Metro Market locations across the state. Settlement focuses on cutting leaks from refrigeration systems used in grocery stores nationwide. Deja vu for Madison. The Wisconsin Elections Commission finds another instance of miscounted absentee ballots. Commissioners rule that 23 ballots should not have been counted this spring because they were delivered after polls closed, but Chairwoman Ann Jacobs hopes those voters will appeal that decision.
If their ballots aren't counted, which is what I think I am forced to conclude, I hope they pursue this with the judiciary. I hope that the sins of the clerk are not settled on the shoulders of the voter.
In the city of Mequon, commissioners found 5 absentee ballots should have been counted despite missing zip codes in the witness address field. If you're planning on heading to the airport, remember a 54-hour closure.
The Mitchell Interchange project rolls into another big weekend closure starting tonight. State DOT spokesman Eric Hansen says
it's going to start Friday, May 1st at 9 p.m. and run through Monday, May 4th at 3 a.m.
He says crews are shutting down the southbound collector distributor road between Layton and College Avenue, along with 5 ramps nearby.
Closing down the full roadway allows us to do echelon paving, so it's a better product, more efficient, and rips off the Band-Aid, if you will, rather than doing over several nightly closures.
Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow up 15 points, NASDAQ up 295, S&P 500 up 48. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:05.
It's time. It's time your ad dollar reached far more than you thought possible. And it's time your ad message made a dramatic impact on your bottom line. The results we brought our small business clients are significant, and there's no reason we can't bring you the same success, no matter what your ad budget is. So go to Anderson-Smith.com, hit the Contact Us button, email me, and I will call you in short order, because it is time. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. If you're buying and creating advertising for your small business, but you're not sure how to make it work, then I want you to know we can make radio or TV advertising work for you. Both are very powerful media, and both can be affordable. And we have a laundry list of notable long-term clients who will vouch for us. So if you have an interest in increasing the chances of your small business's advertising success, go to Anderson-Smith.com, hit the Contact Us button, send me a quick email, and I'll call you in short order. That's Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Bucks officially have their new leader. Milwaukee hired former Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins as their new head coach on Thursday. Jenkins spent nearly 6 seasons in Memphis, leading the team to a 250 and 214 record in 3 playoff appearances. The Brewers secured a series win. Milwaukee crushed the Arizona Diamondbacks 13-1 in the final game of the homestand. Brewers will hit the road tonight to take on the Washington Nationals. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I-94 West at Moreland Road South. Still may be some debris in the roadway that could close some lanes. Also, the right lane 41 North at Good Hope Road closed. There's some repair work going on. That's going to be closed for at least the next couple of hours.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Partly cloudy and cool. Spotty showers possible today. They should end tonight. High today 47. Overnight lows 35 lakeside, 29 inland. Frost possible. Mostly sunny tomorrow. Highs 50 to 58 inland. Chance of showers Sunday. Mostly cloudy. High 62. Monday partly cloudy and a chance for afternoon or evening showers and possibly some storms. High Monday 70. Slight chance of rain Tuesday with a high 56. 45 in Madison, 42 in Green Bay and in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bry.
Kristen will be back on Monday, as I've said over and over again all week. She's having some fun. Where is she at? Appleton, Oshkosh, somewhere. She's giving a speech this morning. She had a very busy week. That girl, that woman, that smart woman, she never vacations, She's
no,
working.
they went to they had some party time over the weekend.
They were in Nashville, yeah, but then right back to work on a vacation week from this show. Hard working.
Get that bag, girl.
I know she's listening. She just sent us a picture from where she filled up. Didn't look like a quick trip to me. I want to know what gives.
Oh, fighting comments. All right, Joe,
wasn't a Buc-ee's either.
No, thank God.
Mr. Century Overload.
Yeah, we got to talk about that, by the way. Off show. You're a Democratic
Yes, I am.
strategist. I get asked all the time, what's none of these people are emerging. We Fran Hong's been talked about a lot because whatever polling that's out there and it's limited.
Oh, we're going to talk about the polling.
Oh, yes, we are.
She's hitting 14%, and then Mandela Barnes comes in at 11, and then everyone's 3 or under. So what's the magic, the secret sauce to make one of these candidates be the person for Dems to win the race?
First of all, they need to start campaigning.
Amen.
And I don't mean going around the state. They're all working hard. I get that.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
But in about 75 days, the first ballots will be cast because that's about when the permanent absentee voters will get their mail-in ballots. And for everyone who is not named Mandela Barnes in this race, because Mandela's in first place, he's the front runner, that's been my answer every time you ask.
And you're basing that on?
He is well known and well liked among Democratic primary voters who will determine who our nominee is.
So is that historical evidence or feeling?
Yes.
What is it?
Yes, they like him. Do you want me to do the whole history lesson?
No.
Okay. He's going to do well. For everyone not named Mandela Barnes, what are they waiting for? If the dynamic doesn't change, Mandela will be the nominee. And so whether you're Joel Brennan, Missy Hughes, David Crowley, Kelda Roys, you got to start communicating with voters in a mass way through paid media. I am gobsmacked that we have not seen that yet.
You made a great point this morning about that, or maybe it was Bill. If you don't do it now, there is no next month. You're running
out of time.
Yeah.
It's getting late early.
I've been unimpressed with all of the campaigns except for Francesca Hong. I think at least on the social media, she's got game and has done really well. I would argue she is the front runner. My proof point are 3 consecutive Marquette Law School polls that show her in first place, albeit under 20% for sure. But that's noteworthy for a sitting lawmaker from Madison, Wisconsin, that she's in the lead. Mandela Barnes, if he were in the lead, as Joe points out, and I'm not saying he's not in the top tier, but if he were in the lead, he should be blowing the field away based on his advantages.
To that point,
Hold on, I
that
want to
point.
talk about the Marquette Law School poll.
Yeah, so all of a sudden you don't have faith in it?
Do you remember what the last poll in the Supreme Court race was?
30 to 22.
Chris Taylor, 23. Maria Lazar, 17.
6.
And that is when you were like, hey, maybe conservatives could get it. The scoreboard after that election was over was 60.1 to 39.8.
I think you'd acknowledge it's harder to pull a spring race.
He was trying to do a statewide race with a statewide electorate. And he missed by 14 points the margin and missed Taylor's number by 37 points. And on that track record and that poll, you're going to say that Francesca Hong, that's not a poll of primary voters. And this is my point. The reason we're talking about this is the Tom Tiffany campaign made a really smart play this week.
No question.
They wrote a memo that said, we should actually be really afraid of Francesca Hong because Tom Tiffany knows that his best chance of winning a general election is against Francesca Hong. And my friends at the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel swallowed it hook, line, and sinker, not once, but twice.
And his second best chance is Mandela Barnes.
Bill,
so I'm good either way.
Bill, we've been doing this for a while. How many times have we written a interested parties memo to try to generate a story and gotten 2 bites at the apple out of it?
Yeah.
This is an incredible play by the Tiffany campaign.
No question.
But that's what it is.
Okay.
It is a play.
If it's Barnes all the way, where's the data that he should be putting out to say, I'm the guy, let's go? Where's that information?
They know they are in first place.
So they're just so confident they don't have to worry about it.
But let me make the other point I was going to make. The other 5 who are not Barnes or Hong have run pathetic campaigns, in my opinion. There are 102 days until the primary. If you are sitting on your cash until July 1 or even June 15th, you have already lost. I've run statewide campaigns. I ran the most successful statewide campaign in the last 100 years in the state of Wisconsin. I know what I'm talking about. If you are sitting on your cash waiting to introduce yourself on June 15th, your campaign is already over. You just don't know it yet. If you have cash and you are at 1% or 3%, you should spend every dollar in May. Every dollar you have before the Democratic convention.
All right. Texter says Barnes is old news. Dems want new blood.
I agree.
We'll find out at some point. Good luck, Fran Hong, I guess. Or Joel Brennan, or Missy Hughes, or David
New poll
Crowley.
coming out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I got my money on Franny.
I think we'll see numbers before then, and I think it'll actually be a Democratic primary poll.
Okay.
Ooh, a little news.
Hey, Joseph
Little teaser.
Pecky, Bill McCoshen, say something nice. Are they even capable of it today? We'll see. We'll find out after this.
Want to stay up to date with the crew?
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Black, and a swing and a miss. He strikes out. This ball game's over.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
There are standards that this team needs to meet. Pat Murphy did not think his team met those standards at times in tonight's game, and it led directly to the loss today. There are a handful of plays I think they would love to have back.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
It's WTMJ. Steve Scavini talking about Salute to Service again. I need your nominations. Yes, up until May 8th, but don't wait because I'm already getting dozens of nominations from really great stories from first responders, police, fire, EMT, dispatch, frontline medical, all those people who do significant things every day. And we're going to find somehow 5 honorees to honor during Heroes Week. Thank you to Waterstone Bank for making that happen and all our great partners. And we'll reveal all of that during Heroes Week and tell you all about them as they present our honorees with their awards. It is my honor to do this every May. It is an incredible, incredible week telling your stories, but I need your help. Text SALUTE, SALUTE, to 855-616-1620, and I will do the rest. Jazz and I will put those pieces together, and we'll invite them back to the show live in the last half hour in Heroes Week in May, right here on 620 WTMJ.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Car Edge. The stress of car buying is finally a thing of the past. Car Edge negotiates with local dealerships for you, keeping your personal info private. With an average of 20-plus years of dealership experience, Car Edge experts know every trick in the book, saving you time and money. No sales calls, no wasted hours playing games at a dealership, just the best deal on the car you want. WTMJ fans get 20% off. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ for a free no-obligation consultation today.
Roll out the winning this May at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Have a barrel of fun with your share of $300,000. Just play with your rewards card for entries, and Thursday night you could hit a home run. Plus, your May drawing entries all count towards the Big League Series prize drawing in June. It's Tic Tac Home Run. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Yeah. You keep saying your side is better. It's time to say something nice about the other side of the political aisle on Point Taken.
Come on, people now. Yeah, that is me raising my voice. One of the rare times I ever raise my voice or get excited about anything. I'm very calm.
You Sicilians are calm.
Yes, very
It's in your DNA.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Me too. I never yell.
You Polish. Yeah, for
All right.
sure.
The funny thing behind this, Joe comes in hot on a Friday usually, and mostly at me, not at you so much. But
You've been on my nerves the last 2 weeks, man.
Sometimes it's on the text before we get here, so it depends.
As I say, I don't play in that sandbox as much as I used to because there's cat urine in there.
He
I don't want to get
he
it.
unsubscribed
It
from
is
the
polarizing.
group text.
It is quite polarizing.
It's nasty sometimes. Downright nasty. All right, who wants to go first on Say Something Nice?
You go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So Saturday night, I don't know why, but when the event happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I'm a Fox News guy. I've admitted that on the air. I went to CNN to watch their coverage. And I did the same thing when Trump was shot in Butler. I watched CNN all night. I did not watch Fox. I wanted to see how the other side was covering it, to see what kind of a story it was. And the guy that really impressed me on Saturday night was certainly not a Trump fan, Van Jones.
Yeah.
Van Jones was on a panel. He could not have handled it better that night about the magnitude of this, how important it was, why security measures need to be improved, sort of the state of our politics. I'm not sure I've ever agreed with Van Jones on anything, but on Saturday night, he handled it with the right style and tone to sort of calm things down if he was speaking only to the left. I think it was smart, and as someone from the right, I give him credit for that.
Yeah, and he's actually a pretty smart guy.
Republican Senator Susan Collins of the great state of Maine.
Soon to be reelected. Against your Nazi.
That's a separate conversation. I don't have Nazis. Susan Collins is my Say Something Nice this week. She became the first Republican to go against the administration and try to exert congressional authority over what is happening in Iran. There has long been a 60-day window in which the executive can wage a war. But if you read your Constitution, and I have, only the Congress
I have a
can
pocket version.
declare
I got one in my bag
war,
right here.
And that didn't happen. So there is a war powers debate ramping up, heating up. There's been another vote, and Susan Collins, Republican of Maine, had the courage of her convictions to vote to uphold the Constitution and the War Powers Act of 1973. Good on you, Susan Collins.
And I'm going with Joe Brennan. I'm not going to vote for Joe Brennan. He's a Democrat. But I've talked to, I think, every candidate, maybe except one, including Tom Tiffany on the other side. It was a normal conversation I had with him the other day. And I am someone that's impressed by resume and experience. And he's got a pretty solid resume, worked for the state, I think Department of Administration and some other
secretary.
Yeah. I said to him, he might be, and look, I do this for a living. I judge how people's communication skills are. To me, he's the best communicator in this field. I don't care which side you're talking about. I could ask him a question. It was a common sense, well thought out, well delivered answer. I need more of that. And you don't have to be blowing up the system, Fran Hong, or whatever, socialists want to do and transform and change everything and give everything away for free. Just a guy that has a business background and has done stuff and has led departments. I need more of that. Whatever side you're on, I need more of that. So I'm going to give it some love to Joel Brennan. And you can find my interview with Joel Brennan. Here's my tease for the newsletter. At our newsletter, and you can just text the word extra, EXTRA. It sends you right there. And we revamped it. It's even better than it used to be. And if I see that neither one of you guys are subscribers, I'm going to kick you.
I'm
you know what?
subscribed.
I'm not sure. I got to check.
Oh my God! After the break, grab bag.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 12th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the San Diego Padres.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 12th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Skinny for Annex Wealth Management. Not about age, it's about mindset. Asking for help from a wealth management firm that provides comprehensive planning and is ready to provide strategic advice wherever you are in your journey, beginning, middle, and can all make the difference. If you're watching the headlines wondering what's ahead, Annex Wealth Management can help turn uncertainty into understanding with personalized guidance and comprehensive planning. Annex, the done it for me, built diversified tax-aware portfolios with the aim of managing risk while supporting your long-term financial goals. They're professionals, and they are professionals, help you evaluate strategies such as Roth conversions. I've been talking about that. Thoughtful withdrawal planning and portfolio positioning to help move forward with clarity rather than concern. With your taxes now done, hopefully, now is a great time to have someone who's up to date on the latest strategies and laws to look at your portfolio and see if you're missing anything for the rest of this year. Tax planning doesn't have to feel overwhelming. If it's for you, your family, or your business, Annex can help with all of that. Annex can deliver coordinated expertise with an incredible team of CFPs in-house, CFAs, PAs, PhDs, and attorneys. I've met all these folks. They're all amazing and really smart. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management, AnnexWealth.com.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Blaine's Fest with 3 days of giveaways, daily events, and doorbuster deals May 1st through the 3rd. Join us for a weekend of deep discounts on your favorite brands and products throughout the store. Fun, interactive events, games, and demos the whole family will love. Plus, a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes and giveaways, including a Massimo UTV grand prize sponsored by Mobile One. Shop, save, and celebrate during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Blaine's Fest, May 1st through the 3rd.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Have you seen my husband?
No.
He's hot.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What?
Good news. Hasselus Mattress is home to a variety of cool gel mattresses, including Tempur-Pedic.
Okay, but...
And right now, get 48 months interest-free financing on Tempur-Pedic with approved credit. Plus, free next-day delivery and setup, free removal of your old mattress, and a $300 MasterCard gift card with your new Tempur-Pedic.
Wow, that's pretty hot.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
The Milwaukee Auto Show is back, reimagined and ready to roll into its new location. Discover the newest cars, trucks, SUVs, and hybrids from more than 25 brands. Plus, test drive several new models right at the show. Don't miss the luxury vehicles, classics, and more. Bring the family. Invite your friends. There's something for everyone at the Milwaukee Auto Show. The 14th through the 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park Expo Center with discounted parking. Get tickets at autoshowmilwaukee.com.
All right. Since we got most of the politics out of our systems, let's finish up with some grab bags.
All right, gentlemen, on this Friday, fun Friday, first day of May? Yeah,
May Day.
May Day, yeah.
It's going to be May.
All those workers.
We didn't get that
May
music
Day.
cut today.
Solidarity with all those workers out there. Yeah, I see they're parading across streets of Milwaukee in the Milwaukee area.
Oh, in Madison, too.
Yeah.
Schools are closed.
Good job. Grab some coffee. It's cold out.
The kids can't read, but they're all protesting.
All right. You start. Grab bag.
All right. I'm going to change what I was going to do. So former UW system president, Jay Rothman, was excused or asked to leave by the Board of Regents about a month ago. He penned an op-ed regarding corporate governance, which is his area of expertise as an attorney. The article itself makes several really, really good points that the Regents probably is too big. There's 18 members, that it's frankly too political. There aren't any specific criteria for being on other than patronage. If you're close to that administration, you get on. And it's been that way since it was created in the early 70s. I think he's right about those points. However, I think he was the wrong messenger. I don't think you can, be shown the door by your board and then say your board's a train wreck. I think that would have been better coming from a former regent than someone who was asked to leave by the regents. But again, this is his area of expertise. They are very solid points. I encourage you to track it down. It was in the Wisconsin State Journal last Sunday. Jay Rothman, outgoing Board of Regents president.
All right.
Perhaps we could have qualifications and standards and not just make it about patronage for the president's cabinet first and then move on to the UW
Get to yours and quit
system.
your bitching, Joe. Come on.
It's been a while since you did a rebuttal. I like that.
Yeah. We don't do rebuttals, by the way.
He does. Yeah. He does. There are no rules for
Rebut this, Billy.
There are no rules.
Congratulations to all of the student athletes this week who are high schoolers across Wisconsin who are signing their commitment letters or celebrating the fact that they are going on to play college athletics. I was at one of those ceremonies earlier this week. I'm going to try to be at one later today for some of the young men who played football for us over the last 4 years at Whitnall, 5 of whom are going on to play sports in college, 3 of them football, 1 baseball.
It's not easy.
One basketball. It's not easy,
on
and it's a great way to set yourself up for lifelong success. That is the importance of sports, and I think in a lot of the conversations that have been had, we're forgetting why sports matter. They matter because they teach kids resilience. They make them better people. They make them better teammates, and those are life skills that you need. And we can recognize that across the state, young men and women are continuing their athletic career as well as their academic careers, and I congratulate all of them.
No rebuttal needed on that one. Very good. Okay, mine is for the American Legion. My friend Steve Conkey from Oak Creek says, you know what, and these are numbers I didn't know. There's 331,000 veterans across the state of Wisconsin, 47,000 in Milwaukee County. That's a big number.
That's a very big number.
But here's the thing that people don't know about the Wisconsin American Legion. It is a group that helps veterans and their families. So I'm going to give it to you twice. WILegion.org. They have programs, services available for you or your family. It's veterans helping veterans, strengthening their lives. So if you know someone that is a veteran or needs assistance, reach out to them today. Don't wait. WILegion.org. Steve does a great job in that organization. He's represented our area in the state at the state level. I have so much love for veterans. My dad was an Air Force veteran. My brother Dave, Navy. I didn't serve, but boy, I have mad respect for those people. We can always do that. So even though it's not a specific Veterans Day, or they do great work. I'm a Sons of Legion member because of my dad. It is very, very important that we continue to help those people who always stand up for us when we need them.
Hear, hear.
All right, we got about a minute left. Let's talk about
I got
something.
one other grab bag.
Yeah.
Me too.
Make them quick.
Matt Smith's birthday is today.
No kidding.
Our
Channel
friend Matt
12
Smith.
I think he's
director?
done him and Jaron have done a phenomenal job with that
Happy
show.
birthday, Matthew.
Matt Smith.
I will be
happy
a Mike
birthday.
Boucher fan forever, but Jaron and Matt have really done a nice job with that show.
They have, and I've been on both versions, and they were both. Goucher is a legend.
He's a legend.
Yeah, but Matt
Yeah.
Smith, he's here every Monday morning.
Yeah.
Love that conversation. You know who he's got on this week? Former Governor Scott Walker.
Really?
Yeah. How about that? I saw that. I go, I'm interested in that conversation. What's he going to talk about?
So my second grab bag is the mayor of New York City, Zoran Mamdani.
Oh, he got
it under the wire.
He promised the moon. The warmth of collectivism is sort of cold, it turns out. He doesn't. He ran out of OPM, other people's money, and is now begging Albany to bail him out. 4 months in, Mamdani's a complete failure.
Has he already come to support the Fran Hung campaign in Wisconsin? Has he already done a statewide tour?
No.
Is that going to happen?
I can't imagine it would.
All right, I got to kick you guys out.
Maybe.
Hey, after the break for news, really important conversation. We had a group of
Gotta get to
Eastern
our cars to
European
hear it.
journalists in the building. A journalist from Ukraine. It's 9 minutes. You want to hear what she had to say. Imagine doing that job. It's always a hard job in a war zone. That's coming up after the break. News from ABC is next. Have a great weekend, gentlemen.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. A new tariff threat from President Trump, who says he's increasing the tariff on European Union cars and trucks to 25% because the EU is not complying with an agreed-upon trade deal. It's been 60 days since the president took military action in Iran, and 60 days the deadline for him to seek congressional authorization to continue using military force. But the White House says the ongoing ceasefire has stopped that clock. Others say no, because it's the military enforcing the current blockade. The war's most direct impact on many Americans: higher gas prices, above $6 in parts of the San Francisco Bay Area, where gas station owner Mike Shamsian says,
I get a lot of people coming in, with $5 or $10, and that's all they can afford.
The remains of a second University of South Florida grad student have been found. Her friend was also killed. His roommate's been charged with their murders. This is ABC News.
TMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. The search for the next UW-Madison chancellor is officially underway. A 23-member committee will help identify candidates. University looking to replace Chancellor Jennifer Mnookin, who's stepping down to become the next president of Columbia University in New York City. Search process expected to begin in the coming weeks, with a final candidate needing approval from the Board of Regents. Food truck operators protesting the Milwaukee Common Council's decision to enforce a curfew on Water Street, saying they were left out of the decision to close at 10 p.m. instead of 1 a.m. Council's decision was unanimous. The ordinance set to take effect May 9th. A new apprenticeship building program launching in Wisconsin to train building inspectors. The Department of Safety and Professional Services says the one-year program is the first of its kind in the state. It's being developed with Milwaukee Area Technical College and the Department of Workforce Development. Program will include classroom instruction and on-the-job training starting in the fall of 2026. DSPS says it's aiming to address a shortage of inspectors as more workers retire. Time now for some news about your money with the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is now down 59 points, 49,592. The Nasdaq up 242, 25,135. S&P 500 up 35 points, 7,244. Financial planning at every level: Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We had a right lane closed on I-41 north at Wisconsin Highway 50. There was a crash there. That has now been cleared off the roadway. The right lane on 41 north near Good Hope Road closed due to some road repairs. That might be closed for another hour or so. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Partly cloudy, cool today. Spotty showers possible, high 47. Those showers should end in the overnight hours. We could see some frost with lows 35 lakeside, 29 inland. Sunny tomorrow, highs 50 to 58. Chance of rain on Sunday with a high 62. Chance of afternoon or evening showers and storms on Monday. Partly cloudy with a high 70. And Tuesday, slight chance of rain, partly sunny, 56. 45 in Madison, still 42 in Green Bay and in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
We know for small business advertisers, every dollar counts. And that's why you hear our advertisers over and over on this station, as well as every other Milwaukee radio station. Because the power of repetition is real. Go to the Our Clients page of Anderson-Smith.com and see just how many you're familiar with. And check out their real advertising success stories. You'll learn why our clients stay with us for years and years. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. We know you work hard to make your small business the best it can be. And we understand you deserve to have your advertising work as hard as you do. That's why we focus on only the most efficient ways to assure your ad message makes the most impact it possibly can. With millions of dollars in annual billing and dozens of satisfied clients, Anderson Smith has the leverage and know-how to amplify your advertising. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order, because it's time we grow your business.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who'll tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Every once in a while, we have traveling journalists that come into the studios here at WTMJ, and I heard that she was coming in. I said, we have to talk to her. She is Elena Stek, Ukrainian journalist, broadcaster. First of all, thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
So, as I've talked to you before the interview, I said, I feel for your country. We can't imagine what that feels like, but you're a journalist, you're a broadcaster, you are in that world. I mean, just on its basic sense, how can you do the job given that you're in that situation in your country?
Yeah, let me start with saying that I am a journalist and a host at Ukraine's public broadcaster. So I'm mainly based in Kyiv, Ukraine, which is the capital of Ukraine. So I'm not the one who do the frontline reporting all the time. I had a couple of trips, but it's not my everyday work. But when I'm being asked how it is to be a journalist in the country which is at war, it is always quite difficult to answer, because I think that many of my colleagues from Europe and the United States, they expect me to say that, it is so difficult to provide balance or to follow some other ethical standards. But what I think, what comes in mind for me personally at first is some very personal things. For example, I think that you might have heard that we had a pretty difficult winter in terms of electricity and heating because of the Russian missile attacks. So it influences, first of all, my work as well as my colleagues' work, because you cannot work from home. You don't have electricity. You go to the office. We are lucky to have a pretty stable electricity in our office, but still, if it is air raid alert, we need to go downstairs to the shelter. So all of that interrupts our job.
How often does that happen? Because we see the reports. There's missiles coming in all the time, drone attacks, all these things. How often does that happen where it disrupts not just your work life, but your home life?
Yeah, so I will not say that it happens like every day, but it happens regularly. I have this application on my phone. I follow when there are air raid alerts in Kyiv. So during the last couple of days, it's like 2-3 times per day. It's pretty often. So for many of us, it means that we are preferred and recommended to go to the shelter, but we can follow online what is the type of the missile attack. Is that drone attack or a missile? So how much time do we have? Is that ballistic missile? Then we don't have much time. So we decide if we see that we can stay at our workplaces, so we do this. But in general, currently the situation with electricity is much better. So also I don't want to say that everything is bad. No, we manage, I don't know how, but the state and the providing companies, they managed to fix it pretty quickly. But in general, of course, we have this very personal dimension of what is going on. And also, I think that what is important to mention that, a part of Ukrainians, they are being a military serviceman. So a lot of these people, they used to be civil people. But a lot of me and my colleagues, we have families who are now military servicemen, so this also adds this personal dimension.
There's no way right now to be a Ukrainian citizen without being directly impacted by all of this, whether it's your home life, work life. Describe, we talked a little bit about the disruption with electricity and these bombings, but even things like food, and you were talking about heating your house, all of these things are disrupted. In the United States, we're involved in wars, but not in our own country. That's the country you're living and working in, and it's happening around you. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, yes, you're right. I think that I should start with a very practical example that what we do when there is air raid alert and, for example, a ballistic or a drone attack on Kyiv. So we are at home sleeping. What do we do? So we have like two options. Okay, we have three options. One option, you can do nothing. You can because a lot of people, they got used to it and they're like, okay. So they're even excuse me, becoming maybe a bit of fatalists. They're like, okay, so I'm staying. I don't want to go anywhere. Second option, which I use pretty often, I move to the hallway. You know, I have my yoga mat and a sleeping bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
How you say it,
yeah.
which we use for hiking. Yeah. So I put it on the floor, and this is how I sleep till the morning. Because we have this rule of 2 walls if you are between 2 walls, so this may be a bit more safer for you. The third option, if there is a huge attack, missile and drone, so I go downstairs to find a shelter. It's not in my house, so I need to take a couple of minutes to go to the shelter. So this is a very practical dimension. And what you mentioned about electricity, for example, keeping your products safe in your fridge, you know, if we had days when there were 8 hours without electricity, so you can imagine what may happen with your products. So a lot of Ukrainians already have, you know, these huge power banks, small power banks. I have power bank in my bag because I already got used to it, that I need to be prepared for such a crisis moments.
This is a question, it's purely speculative, but how does this war end? I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time, and we have a country that attacked your country for no reason, essentially. How does this war end?
Well, I would like to know, but I don't know. You know, from the very beginning of the full-scale war, Ukrainians and Ukrainian journalists, they asked their, for example, guests at the interviews, how do you see the end of the war? And I think that during 2022, 2023, there were some expectations, but now it seems something that will take some time, and we already got used to it. I think that a lot of Ukrainians had huge expectations from Donald Trump, because when he was campaigning, he mentioned that he will end the war in Ukraine in 1 day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you're right.
It was pretty obvious that it won't be so easy as he said, but at least we expected that he, as the president of the United States, could pressure Vladimir Putin to stop the war, because he's the only person who is responsible for it and the only person truly who can stop it. But what we see now, we see that U.S. president trying to make some kind of a deal, and there have been a lot of pressure to Ukraine, but not much pressure to Russia, at least as it is being, as we see it as observers from a side. So I think that the main thing that should be done is to put more pressure on Russia, because until it doesn't feel any consequences and doesn't feel that, for example, it feels lack of money. They don't. After the war against Iran in the Middle East, they have plenty of money again, so they can conduct war for a pretty long time more. So what we expect, but I don't know if we can hope that the pressure on Russia will increase, because you know, I just want to say that there are no other people in the world who would like to end this war as quickly as it's possible than Ukrainians. Trust me. So many people died, so many people lost their homes, so many people were forced to flee the country. And when we are being listened to the statement that Ukraine is an obstacle for reaching peace deal, this is very painful, because it's definitely not true.
Olena Stek, broadcaster from Ukraine. I'm in awe of you. I've only met you for about 20 minutes, but telling the story is important. I wish you and your countrymen in Ukraine the best, and I hope this war does end as soon as possible. Thanks for spending some time with me.
Thank you.
Think about that interview the next time you're complaining about how hard your life is. She's a journalist doing great work in a country that is being essentially bombed each and every day. Quick break.
Everyone wants us to build an awesome backyard space. The trend has been people asking about how they'll use the space. The requests are, we want an outdoor space to relax and read, for yoga, a fitness area, to watch baseball on TV. And my latest and favorite, can you build me a golf simulator? Yes to all of it. We can build that covered structure for any of your dream ideas. We'll be creative and make it look amazing. You get to enjoy the space any way you want, getting fit, relaxing, or hitting a driver literally off your deck. For that amazing outdoor space, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The best way to give your house a makeover is with new siding from Abbey Home. We will customize and design a brand new look for your house to make you the talk of the neighborhood. To top it off, we will fully insulate your home as well so you can save on your energy bills. It's not just siding, it's a pre-engineered wall system. Right now, get 20% off your project. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl. Go to abbyhome.com today or give us a call at 414-436-ABBY. That's 414-436-2229.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer, and it allows my dogs, husband, and I to enjoy our patio every season. Right now, get up to $500 off any awning or screen. That's right, get 10% off up to $500 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Take your mother to the magnificent Mother's Day brunch at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill. The spring drive through Kettle Moraine Forest is spectacular. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Google, call, and reserve your family table today.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Every week, every Friday, Producer Jazz. No, it doesn't just happen on Friday. The work is long and hard all week to put all the voices and stories that we covered here on 620 WTMJ together in one exciting package. Another assassination attempt, dangerous winds hit Milwaukee, letting the Beagles go, and more. It's the Weekend Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
From ABC News, President Trump and other top White House officials uninjured Saturday night after being whisked out of the White House Correspondents' Dinner when shots rang out.
We could hear not only the gunshots, but then smell the gunpowder.
Is it worth them traveling back to Washington? If not there, then where? And at what cost? And who pays that cost?
Harrison again winds and fires. Struck him out. He strikes out the side in the 6th and a new career high for Kyle Harrison. He's got 12 strikeouts.
What's your grade for the draft?
I don't do draft grades. Draft grades are dumb. Ask me in 2 years.
Another reason why I like you.
Adam, what did you see in River West?
There are not just your typical twigs and branches down blocking some parts of roads. We're talking full 100 maybe year old plus trees uprooted, sent over, landing on people's vehicles.
2 different people that I trust and know said Cruz disappeared about 8:30. If it is true, shame on you. How have we gotten worse at the customer service part? Everything is an extinction level event now.
This will be a historic speech. Congress has gathered at this very moment, waiting for an address by Britain's King Charles III.
Whatever disagreements we may have, we stand united in our commitment to uphold democracy.
Another indictment for James Comey.
This time about a picture of seashells on a North Carolina beach.
Constitutes as a threat against the president.
On the one hand, it's preposterous. On the other hand, the Justice Department is saying, give me a break. There are all kinds of assassination attempts against this guy. supply.
The average price for a gallon of gas is creeping up to the $4 mark in Wisconsin. Meanwhile, President Trump continues to downplay the rising gas prices due to the war.
You know, there's nothing better than having a nice fresh soda when you go through a drive-thru.
Yes.
In Paddock Lake, they found on the McDonald's on 75th Street worms in their drinks.
What?
I was contemplating life. I've never had something that gross happen to me.
A kid getting stuck in one of those, it's a claw machine.
How could you not hear that he was in there?
Put your phone down and get your kid's head unstuck. How about that?
I'm never going to vote for Fran Hong, but I've met her. I like her. She's a fighter.
If it's Fran Hong versus Tom Tiffany,
I still vote for Tiffany.
You'd vote for an election denier like Tiffany?
I hate the fact that he did that. But if you give me a socialist versus Tom Tiffany, I'm taking Tiffany.
That surprises me.
This is a major development surrounding the controversial breeding and research facility in Dane County.
We are very excited about these animals having an opportunity to touch soil and grass, breathe fresh air, and get into a loving home.
Swing and a miss, and it's time to high five. This ball game over. The Brewers emphatically take 2 out of 3 from Arizona.
Brandon Woodruff left the game in the second inning after just 21 pitches and showing reduced velocity.
It wasn't like he was injured. He knows himself pretty well. He's been through too much.
It will be the 152nd renewal of the greatest 2 minutes in sports. We don't know much about horse racing, but we do know cool names when we see them.
Chief Wallaby? I love it.
What a week, eh? What a week.
You got what I need.
I was contemplating life.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
The Weekend Review, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. I'll wrap this week's Kristenless show. She'll be back on Monday after this.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods in New Berlin is the baseball lover's destination, with a massive state-of-the-art indoor training facility featuring hit tracks with precision analytics, a huge open turf area, and all the best training equipment you need. So get in here and get ready to get better. And we'll help you with this special offer. Buy 20 batting cage credits for $30. That's 25% off. This is Brian Burkhardt, and if you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt. 153rd and National. If you plan on draining buzzer beaters, the place to start is Burkhardt, where you'll find a great selection of residential basketball hoops from the best brand, Goalrilla. We'll handle the installation and take care of everything to make it easy from start to finish. And right now when you buy from Burkhardt, standard hoop installation is half price. You can't beat that. This is Brian Burkhardt, and when you love basketball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
A happy place comes in many colors. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. During our spring sales event, get 10% off any home painting project, $2,500 or more. When you schedule before May 15th at participating locations, get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, former FBI Director James Comey indicted by federal prosecutors for a second time.
Bringing you the latest in news, sports, traffic, and weather.
King Charles opened his address to Congress with a personal touch. He also praised our U.S. lawmakers. He said, "I come here with the highest respect for the U.S. Congress."
Every weekday from noon until 3 p.m. Only on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I won't make you play it all the way through. Somebody asked me, so I'll tell you how I got that interview. So we have these traveling journalists visit WTMJ every year. Last year was the continent of Africa. This year, Eastern Europe. I was involved in the actual meetings last year, and we kind of rotate amongst the talent here. But I said, I saw a Ukrainian journalist, Olena Stek. I said, we have to talk to her. And I didn't realize until I listened back, and thanks to Jazz for putting that together, the emotion in her voice. Imagine you don't even know your sleep life. She's doing her job in the environment of all of the uncertainty, bombings, drone attacks, power outages. So I have mad respect for what those group of journalists are dealing with in the country of Ukraine. And if you missed it, you can find it on our podcast page. But Jazz and our team here will put that interview on our newsletter, which will come out Sunday morning. So we'll link to that interview. I encourage you to listen to it. Thanks for all the kind words, by the way. People were texting me. Kristen will be back on Monday. She's had a very busy week, even though she was on vacation, sort of wink, wink, nod, nod vacation. Lots to talk about, including, I mentioned it before, Matt Smith joins us in the 9 o'clock hour. Scott Walker, former governor of the state of Wisconsin, is one of his guests. We'll certainly talk about that. Who knows what's going to happen over the weekend? The news is here for us to deliver. I am proud to be an employee of GKB and WTMJ. It's been a fantastic week. Thanks to all of you for being part of that. We have the midday show with Greg and Jessica. And if you have not heard Jessica's coverage of the Ridgeland Farm story, check it out on WTMJ.com. There's great reporters all over our lineup here. That is some of the best reporting I've ever heard at WTMJ. So congrats to Jessica Ty on all those stories. I'm sure she'll talk about it again today. The news is next on 620 WTMJ.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue,